Hello, everybody. This is Johnnie Geathers. Welcome to another JG Mental Health Fridays. I hope all of you are having a great day so far. You just got your day started. I hope you have a great day. Today's topic is called "Is Diagnosis a Forever Thing?" And the answer to this question is no. It's not a forever thing. And the reason why I say this is because of my experience in this field of work. Soon as someone hears the word of diagnosis or feel like they're getting diagnosed with a particular disorder and everything, automatically they think that it's a forever thing. So normally I tell clients that no, this diagnosis is not a forever thing because of the aspect of, things changing over time. So for me, with my, so for example, with me, with my clients, when we first do the intake and we do their first treatment plan and let them know what the diagnosis is, I give them an explanation of what's the reason why they had that diagnosis, but also I tell them that the diagnosis is not a forever thing because of the aspect of the work that they will put in towards themselves to be able to work through what is given as a diagnosis. Most of the times when clients are getting diagnosed, is basically a way to really help us really determine how things are going to get billed with the insurances, but then also it let us determine what we have to work on with them to get through this diagnosis. And the reason why I say the diagnosis is not for everything, because every time we do a treatment plan review, if we look at the progress of what they're doing, and also with reassessing them with doing different measurement scales and stuff, that will help us to really determine if the diagnosis has to get changed or not. So I'll give you an example. I had a client that had a diagnosis of PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, along with other two diagnoses, which were generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. What I explained to them is with the PTSD diagnosis, it was the hierarchy, it's the umbrella of it. Whenever they're triggered by an event or a situation, they either get anxious and have anxiety and hyperactive, or they become depressed, which is very sad, and everything. And with having those two diagnoses of generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive, it actually gave them an explanation of understanding that, all right, whenever I have a moment of PTSD, I either might have anxiety or I might become depressed. And we're working all through those three things. Within like 6 months or so, we went and redo like the scales. We do like I had them reassess. Well, not even I say within 6 months, but I had them redo like the scales of what they did in the beginning before we started, and we noticed that some of the things had declined. And with those things decline, it actually made me reach and change their diagnosis to something else, which was like adjustment disorder, because adjustment disorder is a common diagnosis you can get when you're going through different, phases and changes of life, but it's not as a big impact to you. So the reason why I say diagnosis is not for everything, because as clinicians, we reassess, we do treatment plan reviews, we do progress scales, and those different things to help us really determine if they really need to stay with this diagnosis or the diagnosis can change. And also that gives us a way to really realize how much work they're putting into themselves outside of the therapy office, but then also what they're doing in regards to the work that we're giving to them to be able to do within themselves, to be able to say that, okay, I don't need to carry this as a long haul. And then also that helps us to remind us that, okay, this client is almost to a point that they're about to become, discharged, or even transition from weekly to bi-weekly to monthly, and things of that nature and stuff. And I know there's that stigma of the aspect of as soon as you get a diagnosis that, oh, this is my forever thing, this is what I gotta say I am to everybody, which is not the case. Like I said, things change over time, which is why your diagnosis is not for everything. So the coping exercise I want to leave you with today, if you're an individual that has thoughts about being diagnosed with with something, even in the aspect of like having a fear of going to therapy because you are afraid that you're going to get diagnosed with something off the wall and you're not aware of it, I want you to think of this. Your diagnosis is what you are working on. Once you think about this and saying that your diagnosis is what you're working on, that will help you take the mind frame of saying that, oh, I'm diagnosed with this, and everything. Because the more work that you put in within yourself and working through what you was diagnosed and everything, that will help you kind of understand it. It kind of will help you to be able to get more education about the reason why you got that diagnosis, but also how to work through it so it won't become a permanent thing for you. And that's all I want to leave you with today. If you have any words or topics that you want me to address on JG on Fridays, you can contact me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to check out the videos on there. Also, go on my website through which check out the videos on there, learn more about me, check out articles I did for Helpful Living Magazine, and ways to connect me for speaking engagement and other opportunities. As always, I appreciate all of you. And now I'm going to leave you with the closing message. Reflect on the positives, plan ahead, and relax. RPR. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Be well. Be blessed. And peace.